Aloha, all, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. I'm Paper Mario Guy.
Sorry. I'm ShadowyProductions.
Yeah, and in the last episode, we were doing some Dusty Dune things, and in this episode, we're gonna do more Dusty Dune things, and we're gonna do a speedy comment, and Wiimote. You're already acting up. I haven't even gotten into it. Thanks.
Hopefully, this will be a bit more speedy than the last episode was.
Yes, because the last episode took forever. 11 minutes per star is not really good, but this is kind of influencing us to go a little bit quicker, so hopefully that will happen. I just need to not screw up, so let's get to it.
And after this, we really won't have to see Dusty Dune Galaxy for quite a while.
We'll probably have to come back to it, which is just bad in general, but
Eventually.
it doesn't really... Okay, oh, no.
Got all those cool.
You can piss off, little green pokey baby. I don't want any of your crap right now. So, something that ShadowyProductions and I were kind of discussing off screen is, we were talking about,
How much
game design, and we were talking about padding, because it's something that I've noticed, that's been happening, kind of frequently in some modern games, and that's what I mean by padding is that, like, if you look at this game compared to, say, Super Mario 64, they have 120 stars. They each have 120 stars. And by that logic, you would think that they have the same amount of content, but obviously, Super Mario Galaxy takes a much longer time to complete than Super Mario 64. And it's one of the things where it's just like you would think right off the bat, it takes longer, so you probably have more content. But that's not necessarily the case, and that's kind of what we were discussing, and the fact that you can't really have your cake and eat it too, and that a lot of games have been doing that recently. Skyward Sword had it, Twilight Princess had it, Galaxy definitely has it, and we were, kind of discussing whether or not it was a good or a bad thing, or, a little bit of both. Because it's like, you look at a game like Super Mario Galaxy, and you look at a game like Super Mario 64, and with this game, you're not going to sit down and you're not going to beat this game in a week, or you could, but you're probably not going to. In Super Mario 64, you can beat the game in a day if you can do it fast enough. And we were saying, which one is the better experience? Because with a game like Galaxy, you just have to look at a lot of different factors going into it. What makes one longer than the other.
Because you have missions like these, where it's just like the same exact level as one of the previous levels, except there's a time limit, and this counts as a completely different star.
Yeah, and then you have but then on its positive side, you have Super Mario 64 where you have 15 different courses, and there's only those 15 courses. There's not, much else. Whereas, in Dusty Dune, you may revisit Dusty Dune only like 2 or 3 times, but each time you go to Dusty Dunes, it's like you're going to a different area of Dusty Dune. You're not revisiting and replaying the same area. So in that sense, it really is kind of like almost 3 different levels just named the same thing. But, you're only doing, a few stars a piece for each of them. So, which one is the more rewarding experience? Which one is better? And, I don't know. I personally prefer the Super Mario 64 thing where, you're playing the same thing and you have a little bit more uniqueness, but it's quicker than this game where, yeah, I'm going to be playing it for longer, but I don't get the same amount of content. So, I don't know. I don't know how long this trend of padding in video games is going to last, but hopefully it doesn't last for too long. Or hopefully they can give you your cake and let you eat it too. But anyway, we have 20...
I think we can do it.
20 seconds.
If not, I would cry. I just want to see Dusty Dune done for now. 10 seconds left.
Alright, with 5 seconds to spare, we got it. But that's cool, you know? As long as we didn't die or screw up at the last second.
No more Dusty Dunes, fam.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not. So there we go. Star number 47, and we are close to 1,000 star bits, which is pretty cool.
And now we can go to a hopefully more colorful galaxy.
Or one that's just like a little bit faster.
Freeze flame. Bowser's Dark Magic Flame. I think I'll go with Freeze Flame Galaxy. I think I already got a star here, but go back here again. Yeah, I ended up getting a secret star, I think.
Yeah. Frozen Peak of Baron Burr. So this is, I think, one of the only bosses in this game that actually isn't reused multiple times. And it's probably only that way because, you know, it would be difficult to find a way to realistically reuse this boss. But this is a pretty cool boss. And, gives Freeze Flame some uniqueness.
Penguin. I love ice skating. Oh, but except when I get hit by a boulder. That usually ruins the experience by skating this game. But I love like spinning around, gliding on the ice. Catch this penguin. There we go.
That fanfare when you catch the penguin reminds me a lot of fanfare in Wind Waker.
Which one? Or just fanfare in general?
Well, the fanfare when you get a treasure chest out of the ocean.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of that. I just noticed that. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of there are some tracks that have been used in both games, like the Boo's merry-go-round in Super Mario 64. That was actually used in Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah. Wait, where? I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the same thing.
I'm pretty sure it was the music house thing. I'm not sure though. It could have been something else, but I know it's definitely used in Majora's Mask. What were you thinking of?
For some reason, I don't know. What was it? You know how like, and you're in the Boo's haunt, and you're on like that. No, never mind. But I was thinking for some reason when you're in the Boo's haunt on that spinning room, for some reason I pictured it with like the windmill theme in Ocarina of Time. I don't know why.
Oh no.
But no, that's not it.
I'm saying it's the other way around. No, I'm pretty sure the music house. I think it's the music house, but I would have to check it up to be 100% sure. But I mean, I know that they have used things and made references between the two.
I know why I thought that. It's because they're both like they both have spinning things. Like the floor is spinning, and then the windmill thing is spinning. Oh, there we go. And I think I went right last time to get the secret star. So now I just go this way. They'll eventually meet Baron Burr.
You just have to follow the arrows.
It's convenient to place signs.
See, something that a lot of people know about the guy Ego Raptor. He's the guy who I just showed you the Pokemon awesome thing. He created that. He's a series called Sequelitis, and in his recent episode of Sequelitis, which I recommend everybody watch both of because they're funny and interesting, he was talking about Mega Man Classic versus Mega Man X. And one of the things that he was talking about is the fact that like a lot of modern games have a lot of mature themes, but you know, are targeted for kids. No. What I meant to say is they have mature themes where you would think that they would be targeting adults, but they treat you like kids, like you don't know what you're doing. And he was saying how, you know, classic games had you know, that advantage of being able to teach the gamer what to do themselves. And something about like the Mario series in particular that I can make a direct reference to is that they never showed you where you had to go in Super Mario 64 or even Sunshine, really.
Or like where the secret stars were.
Yeah, they didn't show you where the secret stars were, and they didn't tell you how to get to them, and they didn't, you know, even for the main stars, they didn't tell you how to, you know, get to them. And I'm looking at Galaxy, and you know, you have arrows pointing all over the place, and I don't really know why. I don't feel like those are necessary. And honestly, like, I wish that they would just respect their audience that they've been making games for so long a little bit more, because you know, in Ego Raptor's like sequelitis thing, he talked about the fact that like he did it jokingly where he showed a graph of the times that you say, yeah, I get it, in video games, and there was a sharp increase, you know, in the late 90s, because, you know, that's kind of when gaming became mainstream. You know, before that, it wasn't really such a big thing, although, you know, it definitely was there. But, like, I totally... I totally see where he's coming from, but I don't quite understand, like, why just because more people play it, there's this assumption that they don't, like, these newcomers don't know how to play it, you know? And the thing is, it's just like, you know, what doesn't make any sense to me is the fact that, you know, back in the 80s when it wasn't mainstream...
He has massive fists.
He does have massive... Wow. Back when it wasn't mainstream, they didn't teach you, and people found out just fine. And even though it's mainstream, I feel like people still would have been able to, you know, do all right on their own. But at this point in time, people have been babied so much.
I mean, people are idiots, but come on.
It's one of those things where it's just like, if you're wondering where you have to go, and you've played, you know, for the Freeze Flame is a perfect example. You get to that little intersection, and you have the ice power up, and you can see that you can go right or you can go left. If you went left because there was the arrow there, alright, you know, then it should be obvious to you to go right now. But even if they didn't put the arrow there, you know, as Ice Mario, you're gonna look and you're gonna see, oh, okay, there's a fountain spewing water. I should probably go there because my ice power-up is designed for that. And you go there and you find out that you did a Secret Star on accident, and you go, oh, alright, well, now this time when I play, I'm gonna go left. And you don't have to, you know, deal with those little arrows. And at least it's not overbearing where, like, you know, there's a Pop-Like Fi from Skyward Sword, where, like, every, you know, 4 or 5 seconds she's popping up to tell you something you don't care about. But it's still annoying, and, you know, to me as a gamer, you know, a little frustrating. It's insulting. Okay. Bad start. Hopefully I
think it just kind of almost discourages exploration when they give you these arrows telling you exactly where to go. Like, I'd rather just choose my own path. Like, alright, there's a split path here. Do I go right? Do I go left? Go these fountains? That's odd. I'm curious. I want to go check that out, see what that's all about. I don't want this arrow telling me to go this way.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm not saying to go back to, you know, the 80s with their super crypticness, because some of the games, cough, cough, Legend of Zelda, cough, cough, you know, those are ridiculous, but...
You need to have some sort of balance.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And that, you know, one of the things that, and I'm not trying to plug myself, but in my Super Mario 64 Let's Play that I was doing, I talked a lot about the fact that Super Mario 64 is so good because of the ridiculous balance it has, not only in its level design, not only in its very unique missions for each level that they give you, but also for its gameplay and the fact that it can teach the player what to do and also can not teach you what to do. You know, you have missions like the 5 itty-bitty secrets in Tiny Huge Island. You know, that's a perfect example of a mission that teaches you, because it's like, you know, you explore around not having a clue what to do, and you walk past the little bob-omb hole, you know, the cannon hole, and all of a sudden, oh, you know, the number 1 pops up, and you get a little fanfare, and you're like, oh, well, you know, maybe there's another hole that I can go by that's going to do that.
And then you get a 2.
And then you get a 2, and then you keep on searching for these holes. And it promotes exploration, and it teaches you by, it taught you by itself without any sort of explanation. And I think that's really good. And, more games should do that. And just as another example of a similar scenario, and I hate giving Shifting Sandland any sort of credit, but Shifting Sandland also has one of those secret missions, which is another perfect example of something that teaches you. It's like you don't know what to do, and you've already done all the other missions in that particular course. So you ascend all the way to the top, and you notice that there's a platform sitting off the side of that sand waterfall. So you jump down and you get a coin, and out of nowhere, you get a 1 and a little fanfare. And then you drop down to the second platform, and boom, and boom, and boom, and then you fall into the river thing, and you can get the last 2. And, it promotes exploration and using your brain, and it's not too difficult, and it's,
And they give you like little hints in the titles of the levels, which like kind of gives you an idea what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't like force it down your throat.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of games can pull that off as well as they should. Like, there's no reason for you to put like a little arrow that says up, because you shouldn't need to know. Like, they shouldn't have to tell you to go up. You should have to explore on your own and see if you could figure it out. And if you can't, then what else are you gonna do except try to go up? And they could easily have taught you in the game by yourself. And I don't know, that's my personal recommendation. If you haven't watched this video by Egoraptor, I definitely go check it out, because I think that's probably the best point that he makes throughout the the entire video. And, it's one of the reasons why Mega Man, is so good. I mean, obviously you have to have good gameplay and tight controls, but most games are pretty solid with their gameplay. Very, very rarely now, especially with the standards of video games being what they are, very rarely do you see games that are clunky and don't flow the way that they're supposed to. And when that particular game comes along, like, you notice it by the reviewers are lethal. They are relentless, and they're not going to forgive you for creating a game that has bad controls. But most of the time when I read reviews, majority of the reasons why certain games get bad reviews is because they didn't have fun because the game didn't let them.
With a game like Mega Man, you could really just pick it up and play and pretty much know exactly what you have to do. You need to kill these 8 guys and then stop Sigma or Dr. Wily or whatever. And there's really there's no explaining to be done, really.
There's just something, that people talk about, like, 2D gaming being so good and 3D not being... Try to get around.
You're stuck.
You're stuck? Oh, what a tease. What a tease. Wow. But, people talk about 2D gaming being better, and I can completely understand why. And, it's for reasons like that. And the thing that baffles me more than anything is you would think that with a 3D outlet, perspective that everybody knows, because you see it every day in real life, with 2D, you would think that you might have to explain a little bit because, you're seeing things you're not used to seeing. But in a 3D environment, you would, if you're walking up to a door and you see like a little fence in front of the door, but you need to get to the other side, you're gonna think, oh, well, I just have to go over the fence, and no one had to tell you, hey, go over this fence. Like, it's a common sense type of thing, and I feel like a lot of video games now don't think that you have common sense. And actually, while I'm on this little tangent, I'm a huge fan of a game called Mirror's Edge that not a lot of people are, I don't think a lot of people either A, know about it or are fans of it, but I really love it because I think that they did something that I haven't seen really done at all in video games outside of it, and that is first-person platforming. And usually first-person platforming doesn't really work out all that well, but as far as gameplay is concerned, Mirror's Edge was really tight and really awesome, and, well, you know, just a fantastic title that is completely underrated to me. But the thing that would prevent me from saying that, you know, it's an amazing, genius, great game is the fact that they baby you. And you know, there's just certain game design choices that you gotta make that will either make or break your game. And in that game, it's so much fun just messing around, playing with, you know, these awesome controls and kicking off walls and doing these parkour moves. But you don't really get the opportunity to do the exploration that you want to, because they baby you and they make, you know, the paths that you're supposed to go, you know, highlighted in red, and they take away the exploration, and they don't really allow you to teach yourself by trial and error which is the best path to go. And I think that if they were to ever make a Mirror's Edge 2 game, or they were ever to make another game in that style, that's something that they could fix that would, you know, take it to the next level, where it would take it from an 8.5 to a 10, or, you know, from a 6.5 to a 9.
That's our little rant on
game design, I guess, you know.
Holding your hand, telling you exactly what to do.
And it all spawned from a little arrow, you know, that didn't need to be there. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like that arrow had no business being there, like it didn't need to exist. And there's plenty of reasons why.
Almost at the end. Just need to light that one last torch on fire.
And I mean, I guess there's some people who prefer the easiness, like they just want to have fun with the controls, like that's all they're, you know, they love the gameplay and they just want to, you know, be able to do it with, you know, without any problems. And, you know, I guess, alright, have fun with that, but for me, I like a challenge. Oh, but with that, that is what, star 49, I think? So, we'll see in a second here.
Oh, 50.
Oh, star number 50. So, there we go. We are, you know, made a little bit more progress in this episode than the last. So that's good. Or last two, whatever.
Yeah. Getting back into the groove.
So that's cool, but that just about does it for this episode. So I'm Paper Mario Guy of the Koopa Ninja Bros.
I'm ShadowyProductions.
And we'll see you guys all next time.